Eric Zahnd is the Platte County prosecutor, does a great job out there. He actually prosecutes criminals, unlike some folks in the area. And he's on KCMO Talk Radio. Eric, what's going on? Let's just start with Weatherby Lake. Good morning.
Pete, it's so great to be with you. And it is true. We've seen an uptick in recent weeks of stealing from unlocked cars and homes in the south part of the county. We think that there may be more than one group who is responsible for these crimes. And as you've mentioned, these sorts of episodes often come in waves. We've had groups roaming the northern rural parts of Platte County earlier this year. We've had groups who've committed multiple car thefts from hotel parking lots near the airport in the past. And now we're seeing a rash of crimes near Wrist Lake and Weatherby Lake. The other thing that's true is this: it's not uncommon for these sorts of stealing offenses to spike during the holiday season. Thieves know it's likely that homes and even cars may be filled with Christmas gifts. And again, these are crimes of opportunity, and it's easy for them to grab those things and carry them away.
Okay, so is this something, though, that's been a unique uptick this year versus, say, the last couple of years, especially in that part of the county?
I will tell you, in that part of the county, this is something that's a little bit new. It's not that we haven't had any crime near Weatherby Lake and Wrist Lake, but certainly what we're seeing right now is something that is new to that area, at least recently. But again, these come in waves, and different parts of the county are going to be hit at different times because, again, usually These are groups of folks. Sometimes they're adults. Sometimes, frankly, they're juveniles, and they are really just crimes of opportunity. In all of these recent home and car break-ins, the thieves are searching for unlocked doors. That they haven't been breaking windows. They're not forcing doors open. If a car door or a garage door or a front door of a home is locked, they're moving on. But if it's unlocked, they're doing what they can do to quickly steal what they can get their hands on.
So what do you know about the criminals, the groups behind it? I mean, are they Platte County folks? Are they Jackson, Clay, Kansas? I mean, what do you know about, where the criminals are coming from?
I will tell you that the majority of folks who are committing these sorts of crimes in Platte County are from outside the county. We're continuing to investigate the recent break-ins near Wrist Lake and Weatherby Lake. We've got some suspects who we believe are from Jackson County, and I hope that very soon we'll be able to file charges in that case. And again, we've had groups of juveniles, sometimes from across the state line, but almost always from outside the county, coming to Platte County because they believe that we're a place where they can grab some good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you're right about that. So what about working, if at all, across counties on trying to track down some of these criminals? Because, we've also seen some uptick in Clay County and frankly, on the other side of the state line as well. So how realistic is that prosecutors' offices to work with other prosecutors' offices to try to nip some of these issues in the bud?
It is actually very realistic. We're doing that, and our law enforcement partners are doing that in a great way. Again, I've got to be a little bit limited on what I can say about the ongoing investigation, but I will tell you that the investigation of these recent break-ins near Weatherby Lake, there's been tremendous cooperation between the Weatherby Lake Police Department and other police departments to identify the people we believe are these thieves. And so that sort of cooperation is, in fact, happening. And I'll say this about the Kansas City area. We do a good job of that. I talk with my colleagues from other parts of the United States. There are places where police departments and prosecutors just don't talk to one another. The good news is that's not true in Kansas City. We do have a good history of working together. But here's what's important at the end, Pete. It's important that when these criminals are caught, they've got to face consequences. Some prosecutors all across the United States have stopped taking these sorts of property crimes seriously, as if there aren't real victims and real costs. And the reality of it is that there are real victims of these crimes. If If your car gets broken into, if your home gets broken into, I guarantee you're going to feel like you were victimized, and the costs are massive. So in Platte County, we prosecute these sorts of thieves.
Yeah, as you well should. Eric Zahnd, Platte County prosecutors on KCMO Talk Radio. So how do these crimes that have gotten attention in some of the southern parts of the county, how do they compare? How are they different from what we talked about over the summer, which was an increase in crime in very rural parts of the county?
Yeah, here what we're seeing is people often going into relatively dense neighborhoods, probably just walking from car to car and house to house, looking for those doors that are unlocked. They haven't been breaking windows. They haven't been forcing doors open. If a car door, a garage door, or a front door of a home is locked, they're moving on. But if they're unlocked, they're doing what they can do to grab what they can quickly and get out of there. So one of the things I always remind people is that the best way to avoid becoming a victim of crime is to be vigilant and do the little things to protect yourself. Here, that means things like locking your car doors, keeping packages out of sight, making sure your garage doors are closed, locking your front door. Those things can help you avoid being a victim of crime, because while we'll prosecute those criminals here in Platte County, you'd rather not be a victim in the first place.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Eric Zahnd, Platte County prosecutor. Good to have him on KCMO. We appreciate it, Eric. Thank you for the time.
Hey, great to be with you, Pete. Merry Christmas.
You as well, my friend. Merry Christmas. That is Eric Zahnd, Platte County prosecutor on KCMO.